The classic PTR went down yesterday, and we actually found out through Wowhead that ULDUAR patch has now been updated onto the PTR. Now this means that the ULDUAR build is now officially on the PTR, as well as Heroic Plus is now officially added to the PTR. Now we don't have access to the PTR yet, but this does mean we'll probably be getting it within the next couple weeks, where we're gonna finally be able to go in and test the new raids as well as test Heroic Plus, which is now officially called Defense Protocol Alpha. Of course, when this does come out, I'll be testing the raids and doing a bunch of viewer raids. So if you want to hang out with me during that, make sure to like the channel or to follow on Twitch, whatever. But moving on, we also can see from these patch notes that were data mined that there's quite a few things that were updated, as well as we can kind of tell how good new items are. And this is going to be kind of crazy. The Blood of the Old Gods Trinket is now increasing your attack power instead of 1284 by 1358. And this isn't one we're so ridiculously worried about, but now we can see some of the bigger ones. First, let me just mention that they did add pretty much an achievement to complete all of the Heroic Plus modes. I'm really worried personally that they're just gonna slap on Heroic Plus, just make it a little bit harder, and then leave with that, like a 30% increase to damage, 30% increase to health of all of the mobs in Heroics. And if that happens, I genuinely think that Blizzard is missing the biggest opportunity ever. I mean, they could so easily add something to the game like challenge modes, where we figure out different ways to kind of speed through these heroics and make them more challenging, and get something like a cosmetic set or anything like that. You could add so many things to this, or so little, just to add it to be actually fun. And instead, we might see so far from these data mines that they're not really changing anything yet. So they might actually just do legitimately nothing to this. And this could mean that Heroic Plus that we were all so excited about is pretty much just a wash. All it is gearing your ult. But within a few weeks, we might see the exact same thing that's happening with normal heroics right now. And that's that no one is doing them. It's almost impossible to find a group for heroics because there's no group finder. That was something nobody could have predicted. But we can see that Comet's Trail, one of your best trinkets, one of the most exciting trinkets, especially if you're a Death Knight right now, is actually getting a buff from 726 haste all the way up to 768 haste. That's 42 extra haste. That's a 17% buff we're seeing from the iLvL scaling just for that item. And haste is going to be phenomenal. It helps our Unholy DKs scale even better. And if you want to know kind of a general idea of how your class is scaling, I'm working on putting together actual numbers for that. But if you want to see a conversation we had with my boy Simonized Rugs and Blazing Bob, you can check it out up in one of those corners. What's even crazier though is things like Mjolnir's Runestone, which is an armor pen trinket, and instead of being 665, it's going to 751. This is almost 100 actual increase in armor penetration. So we can see a couple things from this. One, they're increasing things like attack power and armor penetration at a higher rate than potentially a lot of the other actual stats. So things will be increasing at a decently large rate if you're looking at something like getting attack power, which will help warriors scale, marksman hunters, feral druids, combat rogues, anything that really likes armor penetration. Then if you dive deeper through this post itself, you can see things like other trinkets and how they're currently scaling. We're pretty much just being able to see the on-use effect, not the static actual stats we're getting increases of. So all of these trinkets have a normal static stat, which is giving you something like crit rating, hit rating, haste rating, anything like that. We're not seeing that, we're seeing the proc itself. And I'll make sure to keep you guys updated as soon as we know more about ULDUAR, and I'll have a ton of ULDUAR guides coming soon. So again, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all on the next one.